increase the success of your tomato plants. Number one thing is trim the bottom of the tomatoes 6 to 8 inches from the soil level. You can leave the stalks and the stems, but you want to remove the leaves, even if they're not infected. You will find if you do not do this, your chances of acquiring early blight, which is the discoloration of the bottom leaves, it turns yellow and has black spots on it. That's a bacteria that's in the soil that splashes up on your tomato plants. It's in everybody's soil. So by removing the bottom 6 to 8 inches of foliage of the leaves, that will greatly decrease the chances of your plant getting it. In addition to doing that, you can also apply, even at this stage of growth, a handful of whole grain yellow cornmeal. This has a beneficial bacteria in it called trichoderma. It combats or greatly fights against the early blight that is in the soil and greatly reduces the amount of early blight that will get on your plants. Another step in ensuring a less amount of early blight, discoloration of the lower leaves that will affect the production and the health of your plant, use mulch. We've got dry grass clippings, we've got shredded leaves. Put a good barrier between that. Put your whole grain cornmeal down first, and then a barrier of dry, chemical-free, seed-free grass clippings. You can use straw, you can use shredded leaves, you can use a number of organic materials to do that. Now, during the season, you want to feed your plant. If it's time of planting, you put fertilizer in at the hole and gave it some nutrients there. We want to feed it too with you can use a liquid fertilizer. We're using a granular plant food that we're just going to apply around the base, and then we'll water it in. Now, another problem that you may face is you'll have very beautiful tomatoes. This is a beginning of one here of a Brandywine, and it's all ripe, and you pick it and it's rotten on the bottom. Well, this is called blossom rot. Now, what is occurring is the plant is not able to pick up the necessary calcium in the soil for the plant to form the tomato correctly. Now, there's a couple of ways you can decrease your chances of getting blossom end rot. One, consistent watering. What happens is you may have plenty of calcium in your soil, but the soil is so dry that the plant can't get that calcium needed. Another way of doing it is adding a handful of Epsom salt. Now, Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate, it's not calcium. But there's a science that goes on in the soil that allows the tomato plant, or helps the tomato plant, pick up the necessary calcium that it will need to produce the tomatoes without having that rot on the bottom. If you're already experiencing blossom rot now, go ahead and add, put a handful of Epsom salt around the base of your tomato and water it in. This will not help the plants, the tomatoes that are on the plant currently, but will help the next generation of fruit that will begin to form. Following these steps, you will greatly enhance your success of having a very good harvest of tomatoes this summer in your garden.